Lily was blowing up my phone the whole night, apologizing and begging for my forgiveness. It's around 11 a.m. at this point, and I'm completely just over this situation. I still responded to her since she stormed off last night. In my opinion, she made her choice. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go for them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to be doing part 2 of the story I did earlier today, titled Girlfriend Goes Hysterical After Boyfriend Blindsides Her with Breakup After She Royally Crosses the Line. And guys, this story I was actually going to do tomorrow, a video a day, but since I did this one earlier, and a lot of you guys are dying to know about part 2, or you've read part 2, but you want to hear me do it, well, I decided I would do 2 today, so there you go. As a quick recap, even though you all saw this earlier, this is about the guy that came home from his apartment one day, and his girlfriend was there with this guy. She had texted him early in the day saying, hey, I have a friend in town. You mind if that friend stops by? Being very vague. And he's like, yeah, sure. Comes home, there's a dude on the couch. And he thought initially that was like her friend's boyfriend or something. Like, crap, I don't want to socialize, but fine. Turns out that that's not only his girlfriend's friend, but ex-boyfriend. And when he says pretty much, okay, it's time to leave now, the guy was a real jackass about it. Looking to her for permission to leave, not him, even though it's his place. Disrespecting him, being a jerk and everything. And pretty much he made it quite clear, get out. And again, he disrespected him by looking at the girl to give him the okay. She says, you should go. And they get in a fight about it. And she gives him a hard time about this. Total disrespect, right? I mean, come on here. Ex-boyfriend, come on over to that. Oh, a friend is coming over. Bullshit. She did that on purpose. She deliberately hid that this was the ex-boyfriend coming over. And to his own place, I mean, come on here. The level of disrespect. And then giving him a hard time about it. And this guy, she leaves, and now she's calling him up, trying to talk to him, make amends, I'm sorry, that type of shit. But she knew she crossed the line with him. Now we're on to part 2, how he handles it. And let me tell you, he handles it like a boss. And you're going to see where he gets some advice from, and thank the Lord for some old school fathers out there, and he handles this just right. He can't tolerate disrespect, guys. And I guarantee you, with regards to that ex-boyfriend, my gut told me it was a situation where he was a chatter Tyrone type of boyfriend, probably broke up with her. She was always pining for him, because when you break up with a woman, it makes them crazy. All of a sudden they see a higher value because you broke up with them first. And probably was hoping to get a second chance with him. Because remember, he came over so she could be the shoulder he'd cry on because he's going through a hard time. So now we're going to go to part 2 and you can see how this guy handles it. She definitely has a meltdown. So he continues on saying, update. This shit is long. I doubt you actually want to read it. All sorry, I just poured my thoughts into it. Dude, nobody minds a good long story. Nobody in this community cares about a good long story. It's currently around 7 o'clock at night when writing this, and honestly, the last 13 hours or so, I've been effing draining, to say the least. I woke up this morning to my phone going absolutely nuts with notifications from Reddit. I'm honestly like, oh fuck, why the actual F did I decide to pour my personal thoughts into a Reddit post? I began to scroll through y'all's comments, and to say I was shocked is an absolute understatement. Guys post these things on Reddit because it's a way to get things off their chest without having to, talk to anybody and have anybody know their business. That's why guys write me all the time for my other channel. My other channel, Strong Successful Male, in case you guys don't follow it, and you should. Majority of the stories are guys, subscribers writing in, telling about their crazy situations. And they feel better getting it off their chest. It says here, literally almost all y'all are actively taking my side. And I mean, I was just scrolling this morning, just looking for that one comment that was taking hers. It did not come. What surprised me was the amount of women in this thread that said they would never do this to their man, and that is beyond disrespectful. I mean, those comments hit the hardest this morning, as those were my thoughts exactly. That says a lot if the women were on his side. Last night was effing stress storm for me, to be honest. I couldn't believe what the F had just happened. As y'all can guess from my post, I live alone, so there wasn't anyone at my crib that I could talk to, so I decided to call the one man that's had my back since day one, my pops. As many have messaged me, and many have commented, I will go into detail on what exactly our phone call entailed. First, I'm going to go back to when it originally happened so that all makes more sense. Also, when reading back my thoughts from last night, it is clear I was rushing at the end and honestly just fed up with everything at that point, so I skipped a lot of details. Okay, gonna get more juicy stuff here. He says, okay, to start, Lily had just stormed out of my apartment. At this point, when I called her out that she wouldn't be effing okay with meeting me with my ex because they needed someone to lean on. Like I said before, I didn't call out, text, or follow her. At this point, I'm effing furious, and I can't believe what the F just happened. This guy drops F-bombs like a freaking sailor. I take a seat on the couch and try breathing exercises. I'm trying to calm down, but it's no use, because I keep remembering Kyle asking, do you want me to leave, to my girlfriend. That guy was such a jackass. He deserved an ass whooping. I didn't really elaborate on this beforehand, but that shit effing sent me into another world, and I was absolutely about to lose my shit to the max. I just kept telling myself it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. At this point, all I want to do is beat Kyle's ass, and all my methods for calming down were falling at this point. I just said F it and picked up my phone, and Siri called the old man. Nobody could blame at all if he whipped that guy's ass. I mean, this guy's in his apartment. He didn't invite him there, although someone could technically say he told his girlfriend he could invite this person there. He told him to leave. The guy wouldn't leave. Then again, the guy wouldn't leave. I think some states in this country, he could have gotten away with defending his home, if you will. In other places, if he even looked at him wrong, they'd arrest him. I honestly didn't know what I was going to say at this point, but I knew if there was one person who could get through to me, it would be my pops. Now, I don't remember the exact dialogue that exactly went down, but I'm going to do my best to be as accurate as possible. He says the phone was dialing, and my dad picked up and says, I've seen you've already Vooch dropped 43 on the ass. What? Okay. I started laughing a bit and said, it's not about that, Dad. I just got into a huge effing fight with Lily, Dad. I'm really effing pissed, Dad, and I don't want to do anything stupid. His dad says, whoa, where are you right now? Are you with her? Are you guys okay? He says, I'm at the crib right now, and she just stormed out, and yes, I'm chilling. I just don't know what to do. There's a long pause after this, and I hear my pops taking a deep breath and saying, all right, hit me. I began to give him the same rundown I gave you guys in my last post. The whole time my pops is dead silent, doesn't say an effing word. I finished up the story. All he asked was, what does Kyle look like? I won't lie, because this caught me off guard, because I was like, damn, Dad, why the F does it matter what he looks like? I responded, I don't know. He was white with long curly hair, etc. Why? My dad was like, no, how tall was he? At this point, I'm like, WTF, Dad? He says, I don't know. His ass was like 5'9" max. My dad laughs a bit and says, and he explains the Timberlands then. Effing male equivalent of heels. I didn't realize it yesterday, but what my pops was doing was what he always does. He literally can't stay pissed if I laugh. And my dad can make me laugh on demand. I started laughing. I was like, you're right. He was then like, how much he thinks he weighs? And I said, I had to think for a minute, maybe $155. So this Kyle guy's 5'9", maybe at best 155 pounds with his Timberlands on. My pops then brought up the argument between Kyle and I. He says that you said Lily told Kyle to leave after you started to get mad, right? And I said yes. My dad pauses for a long time again and takes another deep breath. And he says my name. I wouldn't be surprised if the situation is a lot deeper than it seems. It speaks volumes to me that she only rallied for him to leave after you began to get really upset. He says, you are 6 feet tall, 190 pounds, and you were just disrespected in your own house by a man you do not know. 6 feet tall, 190 some pounds, 5'9", 155. Now don't get me wrong. I've seen short dudes that didn't weigh very much that can fight like tigers, but the odds are your average Joe, that's one size, and the average Joe, another size, the likelihood is the bigger dude is going to win that fight. Usually. Unless the shorter guy, smaller guy has some training. He says, when a woman cares for someone, the last thing she wants is for him to be in harm's way. She understood exactly what was going to happen, and the situation continued to escalate, and she chose to get Kyle out of harm's way, following by switching all the blame to you and leaving. Honestly, son, where do you think she's at right now? I didn't say anything. I knew what he was implying. I know it hurts, but promise me you won't do anything irrational. She made her decision. There's not much you can do to change it. You've proven your whole life you're one of those that don't lose yourself, and now something over this could just end up being a tiny bump on your roadmap. I mean, seriously, I couldn't be more effing proud of you, son. This is a cool dad. All young guys need a dad like this. You're 22 years old, living on your own in such and such city. You got your shit together. That's rare. And you're rare. The right woman like your mom, for me, will walk into your life when you least expect it. Don't waste your energy. Everything happens for a reason, son. I paused for a moment and said, thank you, I needed this, Dad. My dad laughed. Of course, your mom and I are here for you always, and ends the phone call. Wow, that's a cool dad. How rare is that, guys? That a dad actually gets it. All right? I mean, how many clueless fathers out there are raising clueless sons nowadays? You know? So, he says here, fast forward back to this morning. I couldn't sleep for shit last night, so this morning was just completely ass. The way he talks cracks me up. Lily was blowing up my phone the whole night, apologizing and begging for my forgiveness. It's around 11 a.m. at this point. I'm completely just over the situation. I still haven't responded to her since she stormed away last night. Whoa, he hasn't responded to her, to all her texts and types of messages and all that. She must be losing her freaking mind. And again, just like his pop said, who do you think she went off with last night after she stormed out of there all dramatically? Duh. In my opinion, she made her choice. However, I got a long-ass week ahead of me, and I can't be having this shit continue to impact me this much going forward. Yeah, this is a guy who's 22 years old, young, probably on his grind, making something of himself. He doesn't need this kind of drama in his life. The girl that he chooses to spend time with, she should be adding value to his life, not bringing him a bunch of fucking drama. Therefore, adios, sweetheart. I eat something and head down to my apartment's local gym just to run. On lifting days, I go to a private gym, and on cardio days, I use the apartment's gym. Running is therapeutic for me. Good for him. Hitting the gym, doing some working out, he'll feel better and clear his mind. Around 1 o'clock, I got the phone call, and you guessed it, it was from Lily. No part of me wanted to pick up the phone, but we've been dating for 2.5 years. I felt obligated. I pick up the phone, and I say, what's up? I say to be immediately met with crying, saying, I'm sorry, I love you to death. Please just talk to me. I shouldn't have left last night. I panicked. You know I love you, such and such. I didn't say anything. My name. Please talk to me. This isn't right. Please just talk to your girlfriend. I'm sorry. I told you nothing happened. I won't ever talk to him again. Please, I beg, can we just talk? At this point, the realization of my feelings for her started to really kick in. Instead of anger and sorrow or any emotion, to be honest, I just felt a sense of indifference when she spoke. Well, that's the worst thing for her. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. When you truly could give a shit. And that whole thing, that level of disrespect did that to him. He's done. End of story. That's the worst thing that can happen to her. I responded, can you come over around 3? Still crying at this point. Yes, she says. Okay, and I end the call. Now she's going to come on over and wait to see how this thing goes down. Not exactly how she expected. Again, I said in the first story, she must have really thought this guy was some kind of just pushover for her pulling that stunt and surprised that he reacted the way he did. And she's going to be surprised at what goes down in a moment. I'm just sitting on the sofa now, and at this time just waiting for 3 to roll around, scrolling through the comments on my previous post. And then there's a knock at the door. Shortly after, I see my girlfriend emerge from the mini hallway. She begins to start smiling and crying while wiping her tears. And the Golden Globe goes to his soon-to-be ex-girlfriend for her waterworks in the hallway. Again, I take notice of how I feel at this moment. A sense of complete indifference. A feeling I don't care about anymore. It really started to hit me. 2.5 years just wasted just like that. The woman who I cared so deeply for just 24 hours ago, before now, is in front of me crying, and I don't feel a thing. She crossed the line with him. A line you don't cross. Lily, it's over between us, I said. Completely shocked, she barely manages to mutter out, "What?" While still crying, "It's over," I repeated. She says my name over and over and over again. No, 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 no. Please, I'm so sorry. Don't end this between us. I love you to death. She said this all hysterically. Now, I won't lie, that last bit hit hard. I mean, effing really hard, man. I couldn't mask it anymore. The lid had been broken. Don't end this between us, she says. Lily, I'm sorry, I can't take this shit anymore. I don't know what impression I gave you of our relationship, but I won't stay in a relationship with a woman who thinks that effing little of me. You made the decision to end the shit between us when you invited your ex into my apartment behind my effing back, Lily. Good for him. Darn right that's what she did. She made the decision. Now she has to be accountable to her actions. You make your bed and you lie in it. How do you expect him to react, the ex-boyfriend showing up in the apartment? His apartment. And that guy acting the way he did with his goddamn Timberlands on the floor and acting like all cocky and cool or something like that. This guy needs to find this guy. Let's just say maybe he's out one night with his boys and he happens to run into this guy leaving the bar at night. Nobody's looking. Oop. Left hook. Knocked those Timberlands right off him. She brought this on herself. But she thought she was so secure in the relationship, she could pull bullshit. It's always funny when the gals pull shit tests. Let's be honest, that's really what it was. And it doesn't work out. And then the waterworks start. No guy should ever tolerate disrespect from anybody, especially a woman. Because when a guy tolerates her bullshit and doesn't check him, and this is the ultimate checking by breaking up with him, invites more bullshit. Anyway, he says, this is something I refuse to let slide, Lily. At this point, my thoughts just begin to flow out of my mouth, like an effing tidal wave. No man is that cocky for no reason, Lily. I'm not an effing fool, Lily. You gave him some sort of reassurance to give him the confidence to act the way he did. Shit, you even backed him up in front of me. Why the F would I stay with someone who's not going to have my back? She's absolutely bawling at this point. Lily says, I'm sorry. I love you. I'm sorry. How many of y'all ever heard that? How many of you guys check your girl and her bullshit? And she knows a breakup's coming, or you broke up with her, and this is what you get. One moment she's acting indignant and pissed off or whatever, then you drop the button. That's it, we're done. We're broken up. I'm going to go sleep with your friend. And the waterworks begin. It's Niagara Falls. And she starts slobbering and blubbering, and you can't understand what she's saying. She's speaking some language that's like a mixture of English and Ewok, and then it's just super pathetic. That's what we got here. He says, y'all can call me whenever you want, but at this point, I just went soft. I didn't have the heart to keep drilling her anymore. She was just breaking down, crying uncontrollably. I just sat down in silence. She again says, I'm sorry. It won't happen again. I love you. Only you. I won't ever talk to him again. I won't. I promise. Please, please, just give me one more chance, says Lily. I'm completely silent. I mean, there was just a huge effing pressure in my chest. It felt like my ribcage was going to crack under the pressure. I sat there silently listening to her crying, and I remember one of my favorite songs. And the lyrics of this song, he actually wrote this out, was, I'd rather have loyalty than love, because love really doesn't mean jack. See, love is just a feeling. You can love somebody and still stab them in they back. It don't take much to love. You can love somebody just by being attached. See, loyalty is an action. You can love or hate me, you still have my back. 21 Savage. I just kept repeating those lyrics in my head over and over again. To many, it might seem like she said all the right things, but to me, actions speak louder than words. Yes, my brother. It's all about what people do, not what they say. Last night, she chose to make her decision on us through her actions, and since actions speak louder than words, it really didn't matter what she had to say. Right. How many stories have I done this, guys, where the guy catches the gal doing whatever she does, and all of a sudden, the waterworks begin, and all the blubbering and crying and speaking in half English, half Ewok, can't understand her. When 5 minutes ago she was acting like a jackass, like she ruled the freaking world, and didn't care how you felt until you caught her and got proof and all that. Actions, not words. I'm struggling to keep it together at this point. I really did love her. Shit, I fucking still do. But I do understand this is what's best for me. I want to be able to trust her again. You can't be in a relationship without trust or loyalty. Yes, exactly. I lost both from her. Exactly. As she cries, I look up and say, Lily, please, it's over. There's no saving this. She looks at me and says, here we go again, my name. No, please, just stop. It's over, Lily, I interrupt. Please, just do us both a favor and take your things. Oh, my bad. This is him saying, please, just do us both a favor and take your things and leave, Lily. It's over. Please, let's just end it here. She doesn't say anything and gets up and starts grabbing some of her things around their apartment. I grabbed a garbage bag, that's appropriate, and helped her pack. She left the keys of my apartment on the table and left. This all finished up around 4:30 today, and I've just been sitting here trying to process what the F just happened. Honestly, it all still doesn't feel real. I never intended on posting on Reddit yesterday, but I need a space to effing vent, and since it blew up like this, I should update y'all today. It's about 7:35 as I finish writing this. I'm effing hurt. The weight of what the F just happened down over the last 24 hours doesn't seem real. To anyone who actually read this long-ass update, thank you. To those who commented on my previous post, thank you as well. I effing needed it. I needed a place to vent last night. So that was the end of his story. I know, kind of all over the place. Some parts are hard to read, but he handled it exactly right. And I'm glad this dude has a dad he can go to. And the dad, let's be honest, reinforced what he obviously felt and knew deep down. And that's really cool. All young guys should have that. It's sad they don't. But the bullshit she pulled, you can't tolerate disrespect, guys. Ever, from anyone. And it doesn't mean you got to go around being a jerk all the time, but people need to know that there's a line, and you cross it, that's it, we're done. You're out of my freaking life. And again, I said this countless times. When doesn't respect you, she ain't going to love you. But the thing is, sometimes when they try major disrespect, some guys like this, it's not like a checking her and then they make up and move on. It's over completely. This is warrants. Goodbye. Go to your 5'9", 155-pound boyfriend with his goddamn Timberland boots. You can have all you want. And now she'll be obsessed with this guy because this guy broke up with her. And round we go. So I wish this guy the best. And you know what? 2.5 years, when he's 22 years old, that's not a small amount. And even though he's in the right and he's feeling numb, indifferent, he's going to have days when he's obviously going to think about her and miss her and all that. It will happen. And he can't contact her and go back to her. Okay, she showed her true colors. Let's be honest. She's no doubt had been hooking up with that guy or something like that. Or certainly planning on it, right? Waiting for her moment. And he can't go back to her. And I guarantee you, as these stories go, she'll come back. He'll get more messages, more texts, emails, smoke signals, whatever. Her trying to beg him for a second chance. I'm so sorry. That type of thing. You can't take her back and move on. And he just takes it day by day. He hits the gym with weights and running. Keep that up. Keep that up. Focus on school, your job, moving up. You'll be fine. I wish him the best. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let this guy know what you think. You never know. He might see the video, and I wish him well. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.